to Langford. Very important for the Spartans.
Great backcourt catch, 7 assists. Boy, he just lights it up when you're open.
And you like this freshman Davis?
I do.
Playing out of position as a point guard now.
You're right. Now he's a point guard, takes big shots. Tough kid.
Officials this afternoon, a terrific crew. DJ Karstensen, he's officiated 13 NCAA tournaments. Bill Borowski, 11 NCAAs. And the accomplished Terry Oglesby, who has gone to 8 NCAA tournaments, 1 Final Four, and a national championship game from Maryville, Missouri, and away we go in Madison.
Yeah, Kevin on it right now. Wisconsin goes. A little man-to-man, manufactured post-up.
Bridges can't get the first and gets the second.
Don't give him a second chance. Dynamite at the rim.
He is a terrific player, a finalist for the Naismith and Wooden Awards. And here come the Badgers at home. They are 11-6 in Big Ten play. They are 7-10.
They do a lot of bumping on the baseline to get Happ involved. Great with the bounce. See how Michigan helps. You got a shade to him. Great footsteps now. Drop step. Both hands can deliver.
And he works inside on Ward. That is a very tough front line.
How about Jackson, though? Just great reaction. Some springs as well.
Michigan State has won 11 consecutive games. Here comes the terrific player across the lane, Jaren Jackson. He is a 4-time Big Ten Freshman of the Week.
An accomplished performer.
As was his dad at Georgetown.
Very tough kid, too. Great guy. Generally get to see him at these away games.
On the side, they've got Fritzl. And now here is Happ. He leads this Badger team in scoring, rebounding, assists, steals, block shots, a deflection right there. Here comes Winston on the break, and he'll set the offense. A terrific arm.
This is dangerous. Michigan State may be on a mission to prove something. They're really strong out of the gate, and Ward's got to finish that.
He's inside working on Happ, and Happ is going to have his hands full. Ward comes up with it, a terrific rebounder. He's a top 6 rebounder in the conference as well.
We mentioned the front line on the open. They have so many guys that can contribute on both ends of the floor. There's that double screen to get Happ to the box.
It's Happ working in.
Nice.
With a nice fake, you're right, some good footwork, but look at the congestion he finds, and he still can't get it to go with 3 tries right on the doorstep.
And Ward goes wire to wire here, making Happ run.
Dashes Winston, a terrific 3-point shooter. Wonderful in the assist game. Ward with a spinner, and he works inside on Reavers for 2.
Boy, you know they're going to their power game early, aren't they?
They can do it.
Solid contributors.
They beat Illinois Tuesday. Michigan State did by 20, 81-61. 11 consecutive wins. Their last loss was in mid-January, and before that, they won 14 consecutive games.
Well, they got to score this time, or you're going to see a timeout for Wisconsin.
Happ trying to find, and there's another knock away with another turnover, and it's Winston leading the charge, the sophomore, and they've got wonderful sophomores. Jackson, a freshman, with a 3, and out of bounds and off of Michigan State.
And that's where they make it tough. They push the ball great in the open floor, and then the good look, but the ability to finish around that rim. These don't succeed on the once they really attack the glass.
Great guard in his 3rd year, a couple of Sweet 16s, takes over from Bo Ryan in December 3 years ago. And he has been a coach that has had to weather some pretty significant injuries back in December.
And he had to change the lineup totally. They're not old, as most of the teams have been here over the years, including during Bo's years. Well, baseline bump again, see if they can do some damage.
Aleem Ford. Oh, and a nice takeaway inside by Bridges. This team is one of the best, in fact, number 1 in block shots. And Tom Izzo has got the kind of team he wants. They rebound, they play defense, and they block shots inside.
He has never been as happy with the group. They've not had one problem, other than the recent incident that we alluded to on the open. But this is a team that can beat you in a lot of ways, and particularly on the defensive end, they are solid.
They have all the statistics, Michigan State does, to tell you that this is a program that can go very far in March. And an outside shot, a 3 is down, a beauty outside. That's Brad Davison, who is a freshman from Maple Grove, Minnesota.
A lot of confidence, huh? That kid can stick it. Giving Happ a little bit of a blow, too. Get him some rest during the timeout.
There's Jackson with a drive. It's on Reavers. It's picked up. Michigan State did not hit the rim, so the shot clock continues, and it's a Langford triple from outside.
And Winston is so good recognizing situations. And Langford Kid, a great pull-up game, much less a step into a 3 game.
You watch Winston's eyes. They're constantly on the move. Aren't they scanning what's in front, finding who's open? Here's Davison, and outside they go. Reavers, and finally inside with some positioning with a nice shot. Charles Thomas.
Strong, tough kid around the rim.
He is 6'8". He can match some of that size inside. Langford and Jackson, another 3. That's a 6'11" player with a good rebound pulled down by Schilling. Winston facing some pressure. They go inside and picked up off the bench. Thomas comes up with another steal. And Davison, who's really a 2-guard, but when Trice goes down, the injuries build up. He is switched in December to the point guard position.
A natural quarterback, though, with a great feel for the game. Outstanding high school career. Step back, tough shot.
Another one. Oh, and that goes in. That's a 2, and Winston was right there, and he hits it.
He's a gamer.
He hits the deck, huh?
He is a gamer. Schilling on the floor, not as big an offensive threat, but pretty good passer, rebounder, slap back.
Bridges, the catch and fire, picked up by Previn Pritzel. And here comes Wisconsin. They've won 3 straight, 4 of 5. They beat Northwestern by 6 earlier in the week, and they shot 53% against the Wildcats.
And this is all without Hap the last couple of minutes.
Driving in and falling down with a quick foul. Brad Davison playing with a bad left shoulder, which pops out and heavily bandaged.
Well, when you play Michigan State, you need a little help from above. Not totally square. Number 34, a quarterback, a leader, solid deuce. This believes in his university and his program. And it's been devastating for him, too, because like anything he's ever done, he puts his heart and soul into it. And when you're offended or your program is offended, it takes some deep insight, introspection, and just to make sure you have done everything above board.
Wisconsin has scored in their last 3 possessions on the top. Davison with a little shove. McQuaid has come in, and he picks up the quick foul for the Spartans. A player coming off the bench, and depth is one of the keys for the Spartans.
He does a great job, too. They do a little ball screen, and he replaces frequently. And if you help on the roll guy, he nails that jumper.
Tumtum Nairn has also come in for Michigan State. McQuaid out there, as we talked about. Schilling will be on top. There's Thomas, and it's back out to Davison. 5.5 gone here in Madison. 3 consecutive Wisconsin wins in this building. Last 3 years against this Spartan team. Davison, it was. And inside Schilling collection.
And Hap's still out. He wasn't able to elevate against the big people. Van Fleet, a guy who really can ring the bell from deep. Normally against his own nice slip pass. He's got to go up strong. Schilling got to step.
Thomas right there. What nice defense by
Great
Thomas.
reaction. Great reaction.
Charles Thomas with some defense in there. Like we said, this team is picking up some momentum. Their defense is better, and Gard has got them playing better on the offensive side.
They've shown a lot of character. They could have gone south this season, but early losses sometimes can devastate you, but they've hung tough collectively. Great job at the point of attack.
10 days ago, they beat number 6 Purdue right here, so it gives them a lot of hope coming into this game against Michigan State. They've played once already this season in East Lansing with the Spartans winning.
And this crowd has not given up on this team either.
No.
Look at this drive. How tough is this kid? Davidson, a little kiss. That is stocky point guard.
It's another run for Wisconsin. 6-hip here as Bridges takes it through traffic.
Tum-Tum, the real juice on this team. Great leadership qualities. There's a little flex kind of a screen and then a down screen.
Goins in for the first time looking for Bridges. And he's got the mismatch.
Yeah, they go away from it.
And they got Davison right on the other one. Here is 1 second to fire. Down goes Davison. Shot by Bridges. No. Gets it back. Another triple launched. And Fleet tried to get it, picked up inside, and a travel called on Schilling of Michigan State.
Boy, Bridges, that jumper right on it. Thinking of the Purdue game when he made that big 3. But just a good solid job. You've got to check out and rebound against this club. And Van Fleet not physically as imposing as Schilling, hanging tough.
We talked about the defense of Wisconsin. They've helped build their last 3 opponents under their scoring average. Purdue is 29 points below it. They normally average. Minnesota, another win, 13. And then with the win over Northwestern, 5 points below what Chris Collins has his Wildcats doing.
They control the speed of the game. And they will sneak a break here and there. But both ends of the floor use a lot of the clock and then make you use clock.
Gap, and he goes to Pritzel. Previn Pritzel, who's a sophomore from De Pere.
How about this kid?
8-0 run for Wisconsin.
He's got some pretty good post moves, and he can make that 3. Playing with a lot of confidence.
Nairn and Winston. It's McQuaid who's picked up by Pritzl. Now the crowd is in it with a tie at 11.
Shuffle cup ball screen, and that's that replace. Usually it's McQuaid. Much better with the dribble.
McQuaid with a drive. It's picked up inside by Pritzl. Ahead it goes. Reavers.
Good time play.
14-footer, yep.
He's a talented kid, too.
Cassius Winston.
Good control.
Langford will get it and slither for two.
That's all Winston. Great knowledge, great understanding, the pace, the five. His partner able to deliver.
That stops an 8-0 run by Wisconsin. Michigan State has clinched at least a share of the Big Ten regular season title, the 8th time that Tom Izzo has won a part of the conference title in the regular season. If he wins today, the 3rd outright title for him in the program in the last 23 years.
Pretty good defense here by Ward.
It was.
Excellent.
Nice job inside by Nick Ward, and they run the other way. Winston leads it and fires.
Nice rebound. Big fella Ward. How about that? They can chase him. You got to stick him and go with him.
Michigan State, 7 offensive rebounds. The #1 rebounding team in college basketball. They're up by 2 on CBS.
Everyone has a thing.
Body makes it difficult to explode up and finish.
So Davison, the starting point guard for Wisconsin, has 7 of their 11 points, 5 for Joshua Langford for Michigan State. Michigan State, Bill, has been ranked in the top 9 all season long, a top 10 team, and showing it here late and seem to be peaking at the right time.
Yeah, they are. They're so solid. You alluded to the depth. I think that helped. They can rest people, can extend games because of that. I put a little smart remark, called me Bob Barker yesterday.
Well, what'd you say to that?
Well, Bronson Koenig.
Not that I don't see the.
He was a freshman when Bronson made that comment. I thought, geez, he's got a good memory.
Right.
Fresh kid.
It's a tough school to get into.
Exactly.
Now the shot clock just past that 20-second mark. Here comes Winston with a floater inside. He puts it up and in. He is a terrific, the only player in college basketball averaging at least 11 points, 7 assists, and over 50% from 3.
And he had
just Winston.
He had great vision too, because he was looking to lob. If it wasn't there, he finished.
Kamen is now in for the first time for Wisconsin. They go down. Here comes Ethan Happ.
Nice help again. They rig. He loves to bounce. There you go.
Got inside, worked on Ward, who draws the foul for the Spartans. And a basket there for Happ after he misses his first 4.
I don't remember a center in college that works harder to get his shot and takes more dribbles. It's just amazing facility that he possesses, the great drops, and also can score with both hands. A little herky-jerky too, and that's the one area he's got a great stroke. His free throw, he makes them in practice. He's just lacking confidence when the lights go on.
55%.
Nice.
They go inside. Here's Ward. And with a spinner inside, Ward puts it up and in. He averages 13 a game. He's got a quick 6.
Boy, they can attack you in different spots in that post
my
area.
goodness.
They work different guys in there.
Michigan State is the only team in the Big Ten with all 5 starters averaging in double figures.
Nice little screen, double screen.
It's Davison outside. Langford tries to stick, and here comes Happ sneaking in.
Use the rim.
He's got good hands, doesn't he, Bill?
Good hands, big hands. You want him taking the collection. Look at this. Just leave some for the church.
Yes. Just beyond the halfway points of the first half here in Madison. A win for Michigan State. They win the conference outright. They become the #1 team, #1 seed in the upcoming Big Ten tournament.
Nice high low.
It's Ward inside, trying to double pump, and he goes into Happ. And also some pressure in there thrown by Kamen. Reminder, get the CBS Sports app for inside access to your favorite teams in college basketball. Watch highlights, get breaking news, scores, and more. Download the CBS Sports app today. At the free throw line, Nick Ward, a 62% free throw shooter.
And this team is also good in their high-low because the bigs pass beautifully. They hold off, seal their guy. And Ward's got that great derriere to be inclusive.
Pritzl and Thomas will check back in for the Wisconsin Badgers. Try to use that bench. They've produced, in fact, the Wisconsin bench has produced more over the last 5 games than they did in the first 20 games of the season.
Well, Van Fleet comes to mind. Great game
yes,
against
right.
that Northwestern team with the matchup zone. And he got some opportunities, took advantage. Little horns look, and a little hold on the cut by Davidson. They give it to Langford.
Well, they get a shove, and Langford will pick it up. That's the second on him. And he'll quickly hit the bench. Here comes McQuaid back in. Matt McQuaid is a junior from Duncanville.
Terrific open shooter. Very tough to help off with their ability to knock down deep ones.
Bill mentioned at the top at the guards, Winston, Langford, so huge. They combine for 25 points a game, set the tone. Very heady. Here comes Happ off his foot, and they'll reload. With a screen, maybe a pick and roll, will go inside. There goes Ward down into Jackson, into Thomas for a 15-footer. It's picked up by Winston.
Pretty good look, too.
Back on defense, Winston on the floor. Thomas got a hand on it and finally hauled in by Iverson. Yep.
He's a real good rebound. They're both ends of the floor. Now they're staying here. They got a foul. They give it Davidson, huh?
Yes.
Must have been sticking. Now you mentioned Greg Gard and how he stuck with his team, but they're looking for 34 here on the little discard. I guess he one way keeping Jackson from getting a rebound. But I'm thinking of Bo Ryan, who I got a chance to talk to. Bo and his wife have made a major donation to Coaches versus Cancer, and they're looking for somebody to match it. And so even though he's not coaching, he's helping out humanity. So what a great job he did in his days here. And of course, his assistant taking over.
Xavier Tillman is in, the freshman from Grand Rapids High School in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Christian High School in Grand Rapids comes up off the bench and puts it in. He's a big body, too, at 6'8". Another one for Tom Izzo.
Mark his name down. He will be terrific next year. A little slice cut to load up on the box. This is a little bit of the swing. They don't do it as much. They run more sets because they don't shoot the ball as well from deep.
8.5 to play in the half, Wisconsin, Michigan State.
Great job on the play here.
Davison sneaking for the open shot. Hits the deck and can't make it go, and picked up by Iverson. And wide open, Pritzel triple.
Nice tip. Nice job. They lost attention, didn't stick them. Those big paws, refreshing.
Cassius Winston on top. Davison will follow him. Here comes Bridges, last year's Big Ten Freshman of the Year.
A kid who can really attack the rim, too.
And this kid right here, a terrific player. It's Jackson. Jaren Jackson puts it up. He's already set the single-season Michigan State shot block record. One of the best in all of college basketball.
So multi-positional, too.
Yes.
So many areas of the floor he can dominate. Nice help.
Happ has the last 6. Iverson with a 3.
That's not his game.
Nope.
That's not his game.
Iverson from 3 is 0 of 25. You're right. That was well said. He is not hitting 25 tries. Winston with a 3. That is his game.
Right. It tastes good.
Woo. He can hit from long range.
Well, does that help the big guys? They're applauding. They know they can get some touches, but he beats it a lot of ways. Winston usually finds people. This time sticks it big time. At 67%. I think Izzo has him in the wrong spot. I'll finish that thought in a moment. He's got great footwork, drop step. He's got an up and under move. He can run the floor. There's that little up and under. But when he didn't finish it that way, he came back to his dominant hand. But the reason he's a 1,000-point three-point shooter, Izzo's got him in the wrong spot. 1 for 1.
1 for 1.
A desperation shot at the end of a shot clock violation.
Well, you're on top of your numbers. I can see that right now.
He only plays 19 minutes because they can rotate him. He's always fresh. So many options that Tom possesses with this team.
Michigan State relies on sophomores Bridges, Langford, Winston, and Ward. In fact, there's 65% of their offense with a little full court here by McQuaid on Davison.
Yeah, you just don't speed Wisconsin up. They are deliberate in their sets, make you work, go side to side. There's a little double, a little pop. He can make that.
8 of 20, now 8 of 21, Wisconsin.
That's the guy that's going to be a big-time player as the years go on here.
He's a freshman. Winston is in there controlling things for Michigan State, coming in at 27-3. Tillman, too many steps.
Good job defensively, too, bodying up on him.
Wednesday on CBS, the worst nightmares of past survivors will haunt the dreams of the newest castaways. Brace yourself for Survivor Ghost Island. It premieres Wednesday at 8, 7 Central on CBS. Kevin Harlan, Bill Raftery. Mark Wolf is our producer today.
A nice couple of days here in Madison. Beautiful weather.
15 degrees outside with a stiff wind.
Nice help. He killed himself with the bounce, picking it up.
Davison with a 3.
You can notice they're really getting back. They don't want to give up easy baskets. Michigan State can be explosive with the break.
6.5 to go. Winston outside. Jackson will put up another 3. And picked up inside by the sophomore Pritzel.
And they all have to contribute on the glass.
Where they rely heavily on freshmen and sophomores on this Wisconsin team.
And you're so accustomed to older guys.
Yes, you're right. You mentioned it earlier. You're right, Bill.
My kid used to come here. They were my age. Look at this.
And that's experience.
Hap
just takes his time with the patience inside.
Never in a hurry, but they're running the floor. He's a little tardy getting back.
He's 3 of 8. Nice deflection right there. Save,
Pretty.
Bounced, volleyball picked up by Pritzel. The initial hit, though, was by Aline Ford.
Little slip to the empty side.
Here he is again.
Did he beat that?
And from Lawrenceville, Georgia, he puts in a triple. His first shot.
Big time kiss, and boy, they needed that. Keep in touch.
6-point game. Michigan State is led by 9. Badgers haven't led yet, but we have been tied a couple times. Jackson. Carmel, Indiana. Inside to Ward. And shoved down the play. It looks like Reavers, it was, who picks up the foul for the Badgers.
The other end, the tellers are off on Sunday, but we'll take it anyhow. A little kiss. Tough angle to make that baby, but they could use some outside shooting, open up for Hap.
So here is Nick Ward at the free throw line. 27 wins, I mentioned before, Bill. The most in the regular season in school history. Think how much success that they've had over the years with this coaching staff, certainly, and Tom Izzo, and before that, and this is their best ever.
You're thinking back to Judd. You worked with Steve Smith.
19 years, he was there.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
What a personality.
Steve Smith, you're right. So many great names. Magic Johnson, Greg Kelser, just right on down the line.
I forgot about that guy, Magic.
No, did you?
No charm, no wit.
No personality.
No game. Little run out, they got the pop, but they didn't go to him.
Van Vliet is back in.
Here he is, he can shoot.
Thinking about the pop, he'll try to make it work.
Nice cover.
That's a 3. And it's off by Aline Ford and picked up once again by Winston, who gets him in their offense in a hurry. Goins, and where they go now with the newly instated Nairn.
They do a great job going side to side, pound it inside. Dribble exchange to a ball screen. There's the shuffle and a pin down.
We have the shot clock at 9, and it's up for Winston. Puts it in with another 3, the number 2 3-point shooter in all of college basketball.
And no hand hedge at all. Ward with that great body pins the defender.
Izzo can get the guards. The Badgers have shown a great game improvement over the last 5, and that's a hit put up and in by Thomas, Charles Thomas, the junior from Riverville High School in Highland, Maryland.
That's his game. Had a 3 against Northwestern, but more of a mid-range shooter.
Across the lane, Ward.
Nice help.
Pritzel.
Real solid contribution.
Nice recognition. It's Pritzel in a congested lane, trying to throw that ball around. We're approaching 3.5 to play here in the first half. Ford. Nice aggressive rebound by Ward. He's the 6th best in the conference. Winston, another 3. Bullseye!
How do you cover that? Get to the lane, peel off. Tardy.
Nice outside shot. The lead is 10. 3 of 4 on threes now is Winston. Biggest lead this afternoon so far for the 15-2 Big Ten leaders. And inside, put back up and in. Nice follow by Thomas.
And Davidson really dragged people with the dribble. Opened up that ability to finish on the offensive glass. This kid Davidson's tough. That shoulder's popped out, they told me 4 times.
Surgery coming up after the season.
Goodness.
He was a high school quarterback in Minnesota and a good one, All-State. Nice spin move. Ward fouled. Pritzel came over again to help. Thomas, the initial defender. We're under 3 to go. We're in the first half. Number 2, Michigan State leading the Badgers. Foul on Pritzel.
This ladder is special. This first step, it's not even here. It's in the gym where the first practice was held. Climbing it takes months of twists and turns and tournaments. At its peak, you won't be 5 feet off the floor. You'll be on top of the world, holding the best trophy in all of sports.
Tied for 8th. He just birdied number 4. So Tiger Woods in contention. There you take a look at the leaderboard. The Honda Classic coming up next on CBS.
I think Fish got in the bear trap, didn't get out for a day. I played that. That is a tough finish.
Bill, you and I were talking about the history of Wisconsin. 19 consecutive NCAA appearances, and over the last 17 seasons, you talk about Bill Ryan and now Greg Gard. Over the last 17 seasons, no team in the conference has been better in Big Ten play than Wisconsin. They have never finished lower than 4th. This may be the year out.
It is amazing. They have 11, 21 years. Just an amazing run. And this is one of those, they just got caught this year losing a big class. Well, here's Brunson, Showalter.
Lost 4 starters.
Yeah.
They were in the Sweet 16 a season ago. And here's part of the replacement coming in, Davison. And outside to another freshman, that is Aleem Ford. Pritzel's a sophomore.
And Happ really rested, too. See if they can get him inside. Let him slip.
Happ has started 3 of 9. Van Vliet, the step-back triple. Picked up by Cassius Winston.
But not as easy when you got a guy on you. You know, the zone, you can get your feet set, step into it.
Tum Nairn from the Bahamas.
And not much from Bridges, because
yet.
Rested, yeah. I mean, they have. He plays within, and they got a little offensive foul, I think, on the screen.
It is, you're right, and it's going to go up against Kenny Goins, the former walk-on. He picks up number 1.
Those big bodies screen so well. You can just see the motion there. Gets himself caught. Easy call for the officials, something they're paying a lot of heed to this year.
Michigan State in the conference is 15-2. The 15 Big Ten wins, the most in the conference regular season for them since 2009. A terrific season. But as we've talked about a lot here to begin our broadcast, a lot of moving parts over the last month in particular around the program and the school. Happ, who is 3 of 9, working inside, and Jackson was there, but it didn't matter, and Happ comes up with 2.
He just pins you under the rim, and his shot selection's extraordinary.
Nairn.
An automatic switch here. He's got Goins now. Or excuse me, Schilling.
There's Winston picked up by Davison, showing the screen, pick and roll.
Nice play by Happ.
It was indeed, intervened well.
He really showed and recovered.
Smart player who is 3rd-team All-America in the country a season ago for Wisconsin. It's Davison got a screen from Happ, who has Schilling on him. And here is where he likes to kind of carve his way.
Loves to bounce. He gets paid by the dribble to be a wealthy guy.
James Harden says the same thing.
Well, late call. He gets a break here.
He sure did.
And this is where he's got to show confidence. This kid has worked on his stroke. He's diligent, whether it's in his room or early in practice. And this one is a little bit late as he look at the footwork. He does get hit, and it is the right call.
Schilling picks up his first.
The whistle came a little bit late. But he doesn't exhibit great confidence on this line. It's almost like, I gotta go there. And he's better than that.
Happ began the game 0 of 5. He's gone 4 of 5 since, and he stands up there right now, as we mentioned before, leading scorer, rebounder, assist man on this team. Coming up on the ET&T at the half from our CBS studios in New York, Greg Gumbel, Clark, and Seth will have who's stepping up and who's slipping down, as we are just 14 days away from the selection show, plus a preview of the final round of the Honda Classic from Florida, next on CBS.
While you were doing your homework, did you see the size of his hands?
Huge.
I think that's part of the dilemma. It's almost like a tennis ball for him. Thinking of Shaq having trouble with free throws.
Right, as most bigs do.
So maybe they can cut a digit off and they can get to that free throw line.
A good thought. We'll think about that. Let that marinate a little bit.
check with the trainer. Of course,
Bridges 3. Yeah. Happen there fighting for it, as is Ward, and a tie-up or a foul. They call foul.
Oh, I thought that was a good play.
It's on Happ.
That's what's tough. You got to bang everybody in the front line. Big physical performers around the glass. You can't just stick and go. You got to stick and slide.
There's Nick Ward at the free throw line for the Michigan State Spartans. Of course, you go back to about a week ago when they had that, as McQuaid will check back in, but they had that historic comeback of 27 down against Northwestern. They're not playing at home. They're playing out at the Allstate Arena. And Tom Izzo, after that game, looked like he had seen a ghost, but they came back to win the biggest comeback in the history of the Big Ten.
You know, your pal Doug Collins is not going to be happy
with
you bringing that memory
up.
up.
Sorry, Doug.
Chris has done a great job last year, just phenomenal. I think took a little edge this year. Look at his spin and footwork. Look at this kid.
Boy, the footwork, you're right, Bill. You've said that a couple times about Happen. He's got it.
Put the music on. He can dance, this kid. And they're not coming down to help on him either, so it's a real tough, nice arm use there. It's up in the air, nice hesitation. Herky-jerky. Can be misleading to the defender.
He's the fourth leading scorer in the Big Ten is Ethan Happ. He's the fourth leading rebounder, top 10 in assists. Ward picked up his second personal foul, and today Billy starts for the 103rd consecutive time for this Wisconsin program.
You know, he's got the body language that you have when the check comes. He just doesn't exhibit like a lot of exuberance, and I think that's something he's got to work on. Hey, let me have another one. I want to make it.
I'll tell you what, after the game we'll go to Culver's and we'll get a milkshake, okay?
That's a deal.
And I got that one.
You can step up. That list is a little limited.
Happ from the free throw line is 1 of 5. And the final seconds of the first half. It's Cassius Winston. What a heady sophomore he is. He's got the complete confidence of his coach. He'll have it, and they will have it when we come back to Madison after this. The investigation by the school, they were very proactive in it. There was nothing there, and so he's playing today.
I just love the speed of the decision, too. And you would love that take place in a lot of other circumstances. Right. But he is part of the fabric. Tum Tum is the one that sort of embraced him. He and Langford are the two guys that they're three buddies, and all of them so delighted, as is everybody else in this program, that he is okay, cleared to play. Nice double to get him going.
Bridges the drive into a couple Badgers. No, Tillman there. Good if it goes, and it does not. And we are at halftime. And Michigan State is up by 7. They've led by 10. Wisconsin doesn't turn it over late. And they're down to the number 2 team in college basketball, Michigan State. Greg Gumbel, that's the story here. Let's send it to you in New York. Close to the day, the Wisconsin State Tournament Wrestling Championships were held here this week. Let's take a look at the Coca-Cola first half stats. Rebounding, no surprise there, plus 10. Wisconsin, the first game they played against Michigan State, 20% in that first half, so they're a bit better now. But Cassius Winston, this terrific sophomore guard for the Spartans, with 11 points in the first half.
Winston lit it up, you might say.
Yes, he did.
It's a great ability to step into shots in the early offense, playing with confidence. A couple of threes, just a terrific feel for the game. Leadership and scoring, and this is a typical Izzo set play. Pin down, come off the curl and knock it down. But the leadership in the backcourt so key, and of course this guy, Bridges, didn't get involved as well early, forced a couple of shots. You see the one goal down in the box, maybe you'll see more of him in that low post area.
He averages 17 points and 7 rebounds. And he is the core of this terrific team for Michigan State, coming in number 2 in college basketball. And there's a look at Cassius Winston, part of the 4 fabulous sophomores on this Spartan team. And away we go, starting the second half.
Get involved early with number 22, I think. See if we can get to the problem is getting to the free throw. Nice discard by him now.
Again, good position by Happ on that entry pass. He'll work inside, and Tillman is there, who starts the second half for the Spartans with the shot clock down to 8. Happ began.
Talk about strength. Look at Tillman. Just relentless. A great job. How about that? Unbelievable. Individual. Everybody can stay at home. It's just great footwork. The big, strong body. You body search, they don't give.
Michigan State first place in the conference. Record of 15-2. A win today. Outright championship. And there's an offensive foul.
one of the few mistakes. That's really number 3 turnover-wise for Winston. Doesn't have to do it. Tom saying just relax a little bit. Don't push the envelope.
Michigan State has that half-game lead over Ohio State, but on that matchup, if Michigan State would lose, Ohio State wins all the tiebreakers, they would get the number 1 seed in the Big Ten.
And what a year they've had, huh?
Yes.
Out of the gate.
So there is a lot at stake for the Spartans. Of course, the top 4 teams in the conference get the double bye.
Got
you
it
can watch the Big Ten on CBS.
Got him too late here. They got they got a foul.
Is that on Tillman?
Yeah, I think so. Interesting, he made a good cut half. They got a little screen and bump for him to the box, but the ball didn't deliver on time. He ends up 5 feet, which warrants a couple of extra dribbles.
Bill, I know that we've got the second-ranked team in the country here in the Spartans, but when you look at all the projections, they come in as the number 2 seed.
It is amazing to me. I think that's because the Big 12 maybe is higher rated. But boy, this is something we don't want to see next month.
Davison.
How about that? Step back. He's really perfected that nicely. He's got the strength to move you a foot or so.
The freshman has 9. He averages 11. Here comes Winston.
Oh, you didn't have to do that, Reavers. Just a little inexperience.
Reavers will pick up the foul for the Badgers, his second.
This is a play I think started in the NBA. You do enough of those games, guys. Just get that extra space a little bit because they're forceful with the bounce, then the separation, then the ability to nail it.
Great guard in the program here in Wisconsin. 19 consecutive NCAAs. We said that before, but there was a span between early January and early February where they went 1-8, and that has derailed their season. Langford off balance. Rebound is retrieved by Davison.
Much better defense on the curl.
Badgers right now in that upcoming tournament, number 9 seed. They'll take on number 8 Maryland Thursday. That has been set as Hampel corkscrew doubled.
Like that.
Got it!
He pursues. He's relentless.
And he's picking up steam.
Yeah, he doesn't give up on a play where a lot of guys get somewhat frustrated, a little pick and pop. And I thought that was going down for Jackson.
Jackson misses the triple. He is a 44% three-point shooter. The 6'11 freshman is. That's good for top 10 in the Big Ten. Reavers.
Got to bring it down to him.
Hap. Tillman is there. Inside position. He spins
Good
well.
pass.
And he's got Iverson underneath on the doorstep, and Tillman grabs the ball. Here comes Winston the other way. The slashing Miles will have it roll across the rim.
Boy, he is a load going to the rim. Unable to convert.
Bridges can't get it to go, and here comes Wisconsin with Davison.
And Wisconsin really doing a great job getting back to one of the few times they got an opportunity the open floor.
Pritzel. Hap gets that entry pass a lot. And he'll work his way in. Pritzel for 3.
He has been shooting it great. He's got a clear head.
Back at a time, the game, Michigan State has had nothing from the field in over 6.5 minutes. Going back to the late stages of the first half.
Having trouble starting deep on the floor.
Bridges, 17-footer. And Pritzel will retrieve. Down by 3, a chance to tie for a second time in this one.
You know, physically, Bridges looks fine. You wonder emotionally, don't you?
Interesting observation. Rejected inside. Jackson got a hand on it. Down the middle, Langford, it's Winston. Thinking 3, maneuvering for 2. May have taken the step. Jackson inside, knocked away.
Nice hands. Well, Michigan State trying to push it a little bit more.
11 celebrities entered the Big Brother house. Who will be the last one standing? Find out on the live season finale of Celebrity Big Brother. It's tonight after 60 minutes on CBS.
Ford and Reavers. Reavers is going out.
When you touch the ball as often as Hap does, I mean, it can tire you because every time he's getting pushed.
Well, he uses at least 5 dribbles. And of course the banging, as you mentioned, the physicality of a Michigan State. And now they come back with Ward now. It was an interesting move.
Yes. Tillman began.
Get a little review, make sure they know time-wise, maybe? You can't understand it.
Michigan State will inbound with the 16:32 mark here in the second half. They've missed 8 consecutive shots. And this from a team that is the #1 scoring team in the conference. at 86 points a game, one of the best in the country. One of the best shooting teams, too, in the country. They're number 3 in all of college basketball. Bill at 52%, and today they're at 39%. Here's what they're looking at.
Yeah,
the clock.
they said at 16:55. They got it organized.
So think for a team, Bill, that shoots 52%. Izzo sees that on a nightly basis, and this afternoon, 39% against Wisconsin.
Yeah, well, again, pretty good defense. You have to hand it to them. A lot of exchanges from the bench. You got fresh bodies out there frequently.
And as you mentioned, Nick Ward has come out. Tillman is on the bench. Happ sits for Wisconsin. Out there for the Badgers. Thomas will be the big body in, and it's Winston on the wing.
This is a nice ISO. Look at those steps.
Wow, what a spin move, and again a miss. 9 straight Michigan State misses.
They go after it, don't they?
Another offensive rebound.
Got to match that juice.
They got 10 of those, and of course that leads to second chance points. They got the advantage in that category. Winston a floater on the fly. Jackson there trying to retrieve. They'll play a little game of twister in there.
Good job.
We'll get tied up.
There's possession arrow. Michigan State. Van Fleet's done a pretty good job defensively.
3-point game, the second-ranked team in college basketball. Michigan State against the Badgers on CBS.
Best tailgate, brisket.
No, real football y pollo asado.
Hoops and wings. Dude, subs.
Allegedly received hundreds of dollars in advances. The NCAA has subsequently looked into it. Michigan State presenting their case. They have been cleared, and Bridges is playing today.
And this all starts when a kid is a 5th through 8th grader and he's recognized for his unique talent. And a nice little drive here by Ward. And frequently, people befriend them for an opportunity to, down the road, be involved in their college and professional careers. And that's where it starts. And a lot of this happens prior to even the recruiting of a college coach. So that's an area that has to be discussed.
Van Fleet the miss. Pritzel, who is now wearing 51 instead of 1, had to change his jersey because of Paul on the other one. Knocked away by Jackson, and the shot clock.
How about that?
From behind. What a play.
Happ was really in great position. They got a shot clock thing. They didn't reset it. This is amazing. This looks like our open.
Wow.
He just comes with reckless abandon in pursuit of a blocked shot. Plays both ends of the floor. Of course, at Michigan State, you've got to do that. But to finish the thought, it's something that starts at such a young age that nobody has control of it. Family doesn't have control. High school coaches frequently don't. And it develops sometimes that this friendship leads these young people astray. They may do something they think is okay, or money is provided to the family in some way, and all of a sudden they are part of the fabric of the family. And it's, you can call it an agent, interested bystander, a friend, and some people have the best interests and some don't of the young person.
There is a clock issue here they're trying to rectify with our veteran crew, and they will do that here as we continue this discussion. A lot of people have talked about the shoe companies, the AAU coaches, and you're talking about all the moving parts around these kids and around their families.
And there has to be a sit down on all those areas because money is provided different teams throughout the country. And where does that money go? And what kind of a connection is it between that coach and those players? And just in terms, Tuggan telling us the shot hit the rim and they reset the clock. And I just think it's a whole area of discussion that's going to take time. And hopefully this committee that they put together will have some answers, and they feel they want them in by next year. So let's hope it does take place. Some things might change in the summer camps, the skills academies, all of those things.
It's a large order, though, Bill.
Oh, it is.
That is a large order. A lot going on. The drive by Davison, defended by Langford, who draws the foul. And Davison comes up with his 11th point and makes it a 3-point game again.
Kevin, there are baskets and then there are will baskets. And this kid wills it. A little hesitation here. Use that left, and you know that hurts with that shoulder. This kid is a winner.
Langford has assessed his 3rd foul. Here comes McQuaid. There goes Langford. Davison at the line. Freshman from Maple Grove High School in Maple Grove, Minnesota. His sisters were terrific college basketball players at Northern Iowa. And Davison has got this rugged, gritty feel to his game. A football quarterback, one of the best, in fact, in the state. of Minnesota.
And he gets the house into it, too.
And there's been some thought that maybe he might even look at playing for the Badgers. He wants to be kind of like Greg Paulus was.
He doesn't want to admit it, but I'm sure. Look at this nice move.
He traveled. He traveled inside.
Boy, that looked like a pretty good move. I did not see the pivot foot, but they load up and beg for the basketball beautifully. And Ward tagged. He can't believe it.
Michigan State has 2 points this half. 7-2 in the half. Wisconsin. And a chance to tie or take a lead right here as we approach 14 to play. Pritzel.
Nice catch. Pritzel 51 now. How about this? That's not his game.
Nope, it's not.
They force him to. Ooh, they got the offensive foul. Oh, no, they're saying he intruded in his cylinder.
Yep.
You have done that to me for years.
You do not want to intrude the cylinder. No,
that is a direct violation.
Happ has got his second personal foul.
And once you wrap those legs in there, in the old days, that would have been a flagrant one, if you remember, and I'm glad they changed that rule. Happ get taken on the chin with the best of them. They're going to take a look at it now.
One more time.
The intrusion of the cylinder, I think, stops the play. You see the legs there straddling, and that's a good rule.
And then trying to get his space and the elbow up around the chin, and that is what is being looked at.
Right. That, to me, just play on. But it's in their jurisdiction. They've done a nice job. DJ Cartensen, Bo Borowski, Terry Oglesby.
Great group. This is the regular season finale, one of a couple games in the Big Ten today, and their tournament begins this week in Madison Square Garden. It is a week earlier than most other conference championship tournaments.
The coaches in the Big Ten, it's interesting. So we take another look at it. A lot of them are feeling, if I've got an injury or fatigue, that rest will help. But if you lose early and have to wait maybe as much as 10 days, I would think Ward's elbow might hurt you.
Yes, I would think so too. As we just conclude this conversation for this moment on Michigan State and what they've gone through, the Larry Nassar sexual abuse, the prison sentence of 200 years, all that began about a month ago in terms of the sentencing, and they played and won at Maryland. Then all this comes out about Miles Bridges and his mother. It is cleared by the school. They were incredibly proactive, by the way. Michigan State really played this well in terms of their own proactiveness, and because of that, Miles Bridges plays today. But here's Tom Izzo in his 23rd year, and so much surrounding his program in a season which may be about as good as they've ever had up to this point of the year.
It's inner turmoil, and when you talk to him, he's just concerned about everything being done right. Survivors being cared for. And this situation now is a very, he can't believe what's going to be told. I think they're going to call a
check on
flagrant
Ward.
one. That's my guess.
Ward gets the tee. DJ Carstensen will visit with Tom Izzo about that. One more time.
Contact technical foul, 2 shots. Happ gets a personal foul for his situation. But just a quick, we have a moment. A lot of stuff is going back in time. And I think at some point when a youngster signs from now on, the NCAA in that school has from, say, March when the signing takes place until September. After that, it's all over. We seem to be paying people with shortcomings that occurred maybe when they were not advised properly or they didn't have.
In the meantime, they've just tied the game for a second time. Wisconsin coming back from 10 down, and they get the ball after the free throw by Davison, ties it, and 6 minutes gone here in the second half. They just beat number 6 Purdue last week. Here's Winston, and hold on! It was a beautiful alley-oop for the trailing Kenny Goins.
How about Goins running the floor? And this is an inadvertent trip that sets this up. On this pass, you can just see jumping that passing lane. We talked about Winston.
I think Davison, by the way, just had his shoulder pop out as he is defending right there, and it just popped out as he tried to go at it. Watch it once again. Yep, there it is.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, the pain. He's got that brace on there, and he'll quickly go to the locker room.
And that, if Henry Perez-Guerra is right. That would be the 5th time that has popped out on that tough kid.
And it becomes looser and looser every time. And that's why he wears that brace, which is wrapped around his. There was a lane violation on the free throw. There was that brace is wrapped around the top of his body to keep it in place, but even then, it does not. It's out again.
He got hurt in a cut the other night. Again, another lane violation on Happ.
It is what it is.
Exactly. Goins, 60% shooter from that free throw line. Boy, did he come like a load in that lane.
He knew that pass from Winston would be right on time, and it was.
How about Winston's vision, too?
Isn't he amazing?
Mentioned it earlier.
He's a sophomore. And
great feel.
For a coach like this, my goodness.
If they want to win the national championship, the guards have to perform at a high level.
Always seems that's the case, isn't it?
For Michigan State, yeah, most places, you're right.
Happen
Spit out.
Tillman back in, and he knocks it away. And that Tillman matchup against Happ has been interesting to watch.
And if you can stay head up on him, it really helps the perimeter defense. How about this kid?
Can you believe? Just pop it back in, and here he is.
He's their Rocky.
Grit.
He is their Sylvester Stallone, so to speak. He is a gamer.
The pain must be excruciating, but here he goes, and McQuaid is on him quickly, and Iverson's got it.
Iverson's the rebounder, penetrator. See if we get some offensive glass.
Down by 3, here's a 2.
Oh, forget about it.
Wow.
Magical.
16 for Davison in an incredible display against the second-ranked team in the country. Cassius Winston. Happ couldn't get the ball. Rebound McQuaid. Outside Winston 3. Boom!
Silencer.
Whoa!
Big time. Dagger.
4 of 4 on three-point shooting for Cassius Winston.
And what that does, it sort of calms the Denison.
Happ will take it and feed, and Iverson couldn't corral it, but it's picked up on the opposite side and grabbed and saved, and Ford will get it to Davison. Freshman to freshman.
Tough shot.
A long 2. 18. He's got 18 points. Popped out shoulder and all.
Boy, really rising to the occasion.
Goins 2. No. Rebound inside. Clutched onto. Look at that. Tillman rebound. Cloaked in defenders of Wisconsin.
Tell you what, you talk about rising to the occasion. He's been using that separation. He's going to be able to separate, keep the dribble alive, and go to the rim, but big shots. This kid, what an emotional leader he is. Goodness.
He has the last 9 Badger points.
Got to keep riding Happ, though. Force them to do some damage. There you go. Nice screen.
And there's Tillman to meet him.
Go to the hook.
Doubled by Jackson. Outside it goes. Driving in for a nice shot. Reavers could not make it drop. And it's Michigan State's ball.
Pretty good penetration by Reavers, too.
It was. Michigan State is 27-3. They've beaten Wisconsin once already this year, but the Badgers have beaten the Spartans 3 consecutive years on this floor.
Nice load up in the lane.
Bridges 1 of 9.
He's got a deflection. Well,
they thought it was, but no call, and here it's picked up by Ford.
Happ wants it. Screen and roll, empty side.
Wisconsin has not led. Here is a 2 for the top.
Oh, goodness.
Whoa!
How about that?
This kid is sensational. 20 points. Tie game.
Boy, it's got a Hoosiers feel. Calming influence.
Bridges. McQuaid. Shot clock at 8.
Nice
Inside
pass.
they go. Great position by Tillman.
Winston, the calming influence. Picked it apart. Heady play.
Davison has 13 points this half. 13 of Wisconsin's 15. The shoulder was popped out, popped in, and he's popping from all over the floor.
Forget football.
Two-point game on CBS. Take a look at the AT&T Fast Analysis.
Just really impressive what kids can do. This kid, talk about excruciating pain, playing hurt, and then coming back and stepping up. Some of these were considered twos, but right there, what a gamer. Leadership, and a puppy, too. I mean, he is a baby in this league. But what a big-time winner.
They've had some nice guards here at Wisconsin. Bronson Koenig comes to mind. They've had others, and then this kid is terrific.
And by the way, Michael Finley's in the audience.
Michael
Tracy
Finley.
Webster,
Yes.
another really
Oh,
good
my
guard.
gosh. So Michigan State averages, Bill, about 52% from the floor every game they play. This afternoon, 40% against Wisconsin. And at the free throw line, Tillman gets it to go. There's Michael Finley.
Michael working for the Dallas Mavs. There's Tracy alongside of him. Taking a year or two off, was with Kwanzo at Cal, did not go to Missouri. Great pals they have been. Doing a lot of individual training for pros and college players.
Into half and met by the defense of Tillman, who picks up the foul. Wisconsin's only had 3 turnovers today. Their season low is 7. That has aided in this comeback, and Tillman picks up his second personal foul.
You know, Kevin, I've seen a lot of Wisconsin games, and some people play them straight up, but not as well as Michigan State does. I think they're so strong they can contain him as he sort of spins out or makes his foot moves.
Badgers have won 4 of 5, reclaiming their season here late. Hamp doubled. Pritzel 3.
There you go. That kid, a little bit of a slump a couple of weeks ago. Now, getting the puppies organized with confidence.
He had 3 threes against Northwestern on Thursday. Pritzel now wearing number 51 with his number 1 soaked with blood. They made him change. Winston on top, approaching the halfway point of the second half. Jackson 3 off, rebound Pritzel, fouled by McQuaid.
A great play call to get a good look for Jackson, but Pritzel at the other end complimenting the off guard. How about this extra pass? Get him organized and drill him. And boy, does that help things out, particularly a guy like Cap Reavers with a great chest pass, old-fashioned delivery, and a nice compliment with the stroke.
Josh Langford comes back in the game for Michigan State. Pritzel, by the way, a new career high with 8 rebounds, and they've needed every one of them this afternoon against the Spartans.
So he only gets a couple of games. Here they come again with him.
Davison outside, Winston there, screened by Happ. Reavers.
Happ has really played within himself. He doesn't have anything. He's kicked it out.
Now he's got the top shot blocker. Jackson right there. Can he get around him?
How about that? Does he work for his goals?
First Wisconsin lead today.
It's painfully slow at times, but effective.
How about this Badger team? 14 and 16 coming in. Winston heading the number 2 team in college basketball, Michigan State. 9.5 to go. Langford. Shot clock is at 9. Got the screen from Tillman. Works on Happ. On top, Langford. He'll catch. Back to Winston. 3 to fire. Happ is there. Knocked away. No time. Shot clock violation.
How about that defensive set? But maybe a little more ineffective offense by Michigan State, too. Really out of sync, out of rhythm, but harried. Guys in the right spot in the white shirts. Everybody taking a little bit of a breath right now.
Second half points. Wisconsin has outscored Michigan State 20 to 11. Davison has 13 points. He's got the ball right now. He has a Happ screen up high. Reavers 3. Winston ahead. Here they come running. They've got the athletes to do it and the wherewithal because Winston is at the controls.
I would go to Jackson because Happ is a little bit fatigued. Watch the offensive rebounding now. Yeah, they are fatigued.
Bridges is 1 of 11. With a miss right there and a foul called inside. Wednesday on CBS, SEAL Team returns and a whole new mission begins. Don't miss a new episode at a special time. Wednesday at 10, 9 Central, only CBS. Happ just picked up a foul for Wisconsin. He's got 3.
And he is tired. Good timeout. They usually media timeout. Get him some breath. Howard Moore, former great player.
Davison's out.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to take. The trainer goes and looks at him again.
Ford is in. Thomas tries to block and does once and twice for Ward. Alters the shot.
How about
it is picked up by Iverson.
Great check out, too, by Reavers. Who's going to run the show now? Iverson really not a point guard. This is by committee now. Pitcher's got to get themselves free. There's their swing offense.
Ball begins to stick just a bit with him gone. And
under 10, Kev.
It's Iverson making a move. Langford defends the drive into a thicket of defenders and a tie-up. Nice defense by Michigan State.
Yeah, you can see rudderless right now.
Yep, you're right, Bill.
Kind of set. Yeah, you really need.
But there's no other option.
Got to give him a blow, too. Got to give him a blow. No question about it.
They've run out of point guards.
Into traffic.
They lost Trice. They stuck Davison from a 2 to a 1 guard. He's catching his breath, as Bill said, 8 to play. And you lead the second-ranked team in college basketball by 2.
They're really doing a great job on defense, closing in to use a lot of clock.
Nick Ward. Thomas defends.
Soft.
Nice shot by Ward.
A little counter on Happ with the ability to bounce to ecstasy.
Another time.
Nothing like conference play, right, Kevin?
The best.
Unbelievable.
Especially when one team is trying to climb out of a tough season with injuries, and another team is trying to hold on to a very interesting position in the upcoming tournament. Shot clock is down to 7. Iverson, Reavers, Jackson on him, and a whistle out on the floor. Michigan State has not won here in 3 years. They come in as the number 2 ranked team in college basketball. One all-star after another with an all-star coach, but getting a fight today in Madison, tied at 47 on CBS.
The sub above different.
In the second-ranked team in college basketball to this point of the game.
Well, I think Greg Gard's kept this team together, which is part of it, but also rotating the bench beautifully. And Brad Davison, I mean, just so impressive. The character, the dynamic,
courageous.
He is like playing hurt. Number 5 comes to mind that it's popped out. And when he was out of the game, now he's back in, obviously, but they just don't have that point position because of the injuries you mentioned.
You know, Bill, a couple things about Michigan State. One thing that stands out, they've got 12 turnovers. Wisconsin has 4, and Wisconsin's getting the points off the turnovers. As the regular season comes to an end, every matchup matters, as you know. And Tuesday night, 7 Eastern, CBS Sports Network brings you an A-10 game when number 18 Rhode Island takes on St. Joe's. That's on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports Network.
Now this is where you have to go with Bridges a little bit more. I'd like to see him get inside. Don't settle for the 3. Nice little screen, gives an open look to what a premier point. Generally distributor, but occasionally big-time finisher.
Cassius Winston is 5 of 5 on threes, the second best in college basketball when shooting above the arc. And here come the Badgers, under 7 to go and down by a point.
Empty side.
Davison.
Ooh, Reeves got to be careful. That was a walk.
Well, look at Langford. He's right on. There's that step back, which has been so effective today.
Not that time.
Bridges has got the ball, and he's got numbers with Langford on the wing. Bridges today, 1 of 11, Bill. Shocking.
Yeah. He's got to be in the attack mode, though. Go to that rim a little bit more. Use his physical prowess. Now he can really elevate if he has to, size-wise. With Pritzel.
Each team shooting 40% from the floor. Shot clock here at 8. Nice move by Bridges.
There you go. There you go. Nice pump. They bite. One bounce on that deck and finish.
Last year's Big Ten Freshman of the Year, Miles Bridges.
The tough thing with Michigan State, there are a lot of guys with answers. They don't have to ride one guy. That makes it tough defensively.
Pritzel bumped and rejected inside by Ward. Tries to corral it and a foul. It's on Michigan State and Ward.
Tom Izzo can't believe the call, but I think it was the right one. He over-pursued. It was pretty good defense initially here. Now watch after he goes after it now. Little bulldoze job by the big fella.
Ward has got 4 fouls, and McQuaid is going to come out, and they're going to go smaller.
Which they can against this stuff, don't you think?
Yep.
Easily. You know, Reavers is not a post-up guy with any consistency, that is.
Brevin Pritzel at the free throw line, All-State. He's from De Pere, Wisconsin. He was the Green Bay, which is close to DePere, the Green Bay High School Player of the Year. His dad played college basketball at St. Norbert and obviously schooled his son very well. Pritzl is a sophomore, as we see another one coming in, another freshman, Aleem Ford. He'll take the place of Reavers.
A couple of years ago, he had a ponytail, Pritzl. He cut it off before a Purdue game I was doing. I said, what happened? He said, my mother told me to take it off. So the mothers went out. Playing a lot better since he went to the crew cut.
1-point game. McQuaid, a win today by Michigan State. They win the conference title outright. If they lose, Ohio State wins the tiebreaker. They're number one in the upcoming tournament. Jackson 3, bullseye!
Two big timers, ball screen, pop. First you had Bridges. You don't like that option. Not a bad one in Jackson.
He's 1 of 6 shooting the 3, and he's a good 3-point shooter for that size. Worked on that part of his game. 5:20 to go. Pritzl inside. Happ has got position, but there's always a big right there waiting, including Jackson with the left hand. He can't get it. Jackson with the rebound. Here comes Cassius Winston the other way. Eyes always looking ahead.
Happ has missed a lot around the rim because of the body, the punishment, the inability to out-jump.
Happ's got 13 points. Davison has 20 for Wisconsin.
Tough match here. McQuaid, they get back. I would have taken if I were McQuaid. Pretty good with the dribble.
Shot clock down to 5. A long 3. Good! What a shot by Winston! A big-time 3.
Think of the last 3 goals. Bridges, Jackson, Winston. A lot of options to punish her with.
6 of 6. Winston on 3-point shooting this afternoon. He's been terrific for the Spartans.
Not just finding people. Get those puppies organized. Drill it. 11-2 run. How about that? Michigan State looking to be the champs.
+9 in points off turnovers, but the 3-point shooting in Michigan State has been huge. Plus 15 points in 3-point shooting. Here's the Capital One rewarding performance.
And getting shots off a screen. The ability to pump fake, side saddle. Nylon by the southpaw. A little pick and pop Jackson. Oh boy, pick your poison. A little dance. And knock it down.
Big dagger.
Talent that league with a big time dagger. You're right.
Wisconsinville has missed their last 4 shots. They've hit nothing from the field in over 5 minutes. So we were talking amongst ourselves about where's Davison? Well, he's played 32 out of a possible 35 minutes in the game.
In pain.
Yes, in pain, right.
A lot of agony. And they know there aren't as many weapons out there. They can really do a job and help on him as well. Langford, good defender, starts with him.
Win today for Michigan State in this regular season finale. They would clinch the outright Big Ten regular season title.
Oh, goodness.
Bridges is down. Bridges is down and holding his leg, but getting back up. It's a 3, and it's good! Davison hits from long range.
That is weird. That incident was as weird as it gets. A trip on the pin down. He's grimacing. Hopefully it's that thigh area. And this is as fluky as it gets. He is guarding the inbounder.
Right.
And just amazing. Now there's a little trip that caught. Now watch this roll. That's just amazing. Oh, fortunately he is okay. And that opens up an opportunity for a clean look.
Every Spartan holding their breath right there if you're a fan. And here we go with the pass on top to Winston. Approaching 4 to go.
Irish has got to stay at home on Winston.
Langford, Jackson, Happ is defending.
Nice slap by Happ.
Oh, and look at the dive by Pritzl. That is what Wisconsin is.
Well, it is contagious. Davidson starts it off, but this team has not given up all year long. It's been frustrating. They showed strong character, the ability to hang tough through some adversity.
Shot clock at 9. Winston 6 of 6 on 3s. Picked up by Iverson. Shot clock at 3. He's inside, he's underneath, and he steps out of bounds.
Great defense, good trip, and that's what's kept him in the game. Davidson's ability to run a team, make some big shots, and their strong defense leads to this. It's inadvertent turnover. Tough.
Timeout. 10 standings look this way. Michigan State wins, they win outright #1 seed, going to the Garden next week in the tournament. If they lose, Ohio State, because of the tiebreakers, becomes the #1 team in the conference.
And Wisconsin leaving everything out there, trying to make it uneventful for Michigan State. Langford on the floor. He is a good defender, really hasn't done much, but there's so many options. We've seen them in sequence. And now playing a little bit smaller with McQuaid on the floor along with Winston. And it looks like Bridges is okay.
Which is good news. Davison.
Got to go through Hap at some point.
Iverson and Ford and McQuaid is on him.
What a
and they get
play.
tangled up. Yeah, Davison and Langford.
He caused that himself. He made a fake stop just to get to the free throw line.
Langford 4.
He is young and bright. And he's saying, what can I do? The guy stopped short.
But he does that. Davison, one of the great things he does, he can stop on a dime.
And he cuts great.
Yes,
too.
he does. Terrific. He's 3 of 3 from the free throw line, an 81% free throw shooter, which is number 12 in the conference. He ranks among the top 5 Big Ten freshmen in scoring, assists, three-point shooting, and free throw shooting.
And a one-arm kid, too.
Yeah, he is
pretty
today.
much.
Amazing what he's done and what he's had to go through. 2-point game, under 4 to go. Second-ranked Michigan State. Quaid.
Nice help by Hap. Forces a deeper catch. I like this move.
Bridges into Ford.
Both hands.
Great move by Bridges.
That's why he has won so many games. I mean, what a read. And he really got pushed out to the corner with great use of the bounce to establish position.
He was 1 of 11. He's hit 2 of his last 3, and they've come at the right time for Michigan State.
Plays within the system. Another kid who's going to jack bad shots up.
Keep Langford on him. Now the switch, and they got Jackson on Davison. It's a 3. In and out, and rebounded by Miles Bridges. A big one right there.
Tell you what, Jackson really presented himself big. Took away the vision on that jumper.
Bridges, 7 rebounds, right at his season average.
Going to ride Bridges again, I think, if they can get the post up or the pin down.
He's got the hot hand. Like we said, he's at 2 of the last 3, approaching 2.5.
They're going to Jackson over the top there.
Foul
Davidson.
Yep. Davison will pick up the foul. Number 3 on the freshman.
We mentioned how calm and tough this kid has been. Just played within the system. Fake one way, you think you got him. Got an innate ability to bang you with both hands.
Michigan State has been shooting better too now. For the game, they're up to 45% shooting. They average 52%. Wisconsin has sunk. They're down to 39% shooting for the game. It's Winston picked up by Hap, and Bridges is corralled by Ford, a 3. And a rebound by Hap.
I don't know why he didn't drive him or go back to that post up. Hap loves to bring the ball up.
And he can.
He can.
At that side.
When they press them, he does a lot of that.
He's 6'10". Has some moves like a guard and good footwork on the blocks. And here it's on top to Davison, and Winston is on him now. 2 to play in this one. Hap is down low, trying to carve his way into the defending Jackson with another block inside.
Big time.
He averages 4 a game. He is incredible. He's got 2 in this one.
Dave Brown was patient, stood tall, and a beautiful swipe.
How about the defense of Jaren Jackson of Michigan State?
I talked about his talent. Poise under fire. You know they're coming after you. Hold your ground and finish the deal. Big time play.
Today, right now, you have more power at your
2 timeouts apiece and a 4-point Michigan State lead. We've talked about the block shots. They've been numerous. Michigan State has got 8, Wisconsin 1. Michigan State is the number 1 shot blocking team in the game.
And they just really do a nice job of holding their ground. Where do they go? I would go inside, get Bridges a touch, then go after the timeout.
A lean Ford, a freshman, is on. Miles Bridges, doubled by Hap. Can't get it inside. Picked up by Davison. Bodies hit the floor.
A point foul. I don't know if they go Michigan State over the top. No, 1 and 1.
They call it on Pritzel. Pritzel picks up his 2nd foul. And at the free throw line is Jaren Jackson. I think he pushed in the back here, Bill.
Pretzel undersized. They're really trying to do a good job, and you can just see him here. One way of the little Tavern League discard, which we're all very familiar with.
Tum Nairn has just come in for Cassius Winston. At the free throw line is the freshman Jaron Jackson.
Tum's a really ragged guy, too. A little offense for defense, or defense for offense, I should say.
His first free throw is down the hatch. Wisconsin coming in 2 games under 500 overall, 14 and 16. Big Ten 7 and 10. Michigan State at 27 and 3. 27 wins, the most for them in a regular season.
Now, Michigan State's job is to cause Wisconsin to use a lot more time than they would like to. Not a quick hitting kind of a team. Here they go, ISO.
Davison will take it in. Knocked away. That is a foul. Coming up next, it is the final round of the Honda Classic. Coverage is now available on PGATourLive.com and CBSSports.com and the Golf Channel. Get it 3 ways. We're going to go right to Florida once we finish up here in 15-degree Madison, Wisconsin, the final round of the Honda Classic.
Nice little play call on the sideline here with 2-man basketball. Hap, number 22.
Langford is gone with his 5 points. Langford averages 12.
Of course, he was the guy at the end with Davidson attacking the rim. You mentioned beginning of the game, the depth of Michigan State is what's impressive.
Well, Bill, they have 155 starts coming off their bench. It's amazing.
It is incredible. And with confidence, so it's not like they're just plugging them in.
Exactly.
Plugging them in sake.
So Quaid is now in. He is obviously started. We got Kenny Goins. He's come in the contest. Rugged players. Bridges remains in the contest, the starter. And at the free throw line is Brad Davison. 26 points, a career high for him.
And they are not a full-court pressing team, so you will see a little patience by Michigan State, maybe extend the floor.
Davison's been perfect at the free throw line this afternoon.
Half a little pressure token.
4-point game. Davison 7-7 from the stripe, approaching a minute to play. An outright title is on the line for Michigan State with a win.
I go through Bridges here.
And the shot clock is at 10 as Winston is back in the game. Got the screen. He drives on Iverson, kicks it back. Jackson thought 3 by Hap to the hole.
Before, Kevin. But that's the damage that he can do. You know he can make it 3, so he draws you in. And all of a sudden, you're off balance. And look at these strides. Whew. He can be downtown State Street in a step or 2.
Hap picks up his 4th, and Jackson will be at the free throw line. Now they bring back in Nairn with all his leadership and guile.
Some is over the tournament. McQuaid said, why do you get it to Bridges? And they denied him pretty good, forced him way out from the box.
Michigan State has won 12 and make it 11 consecutive games coming into today. Their last loss was January 13th to Ohio State. Before that, they had won 14 straight. This has been a marvelous season on the floor for this friend.
Absolutely. One to embrace.
Yep. Jackson again. And he is a perfect 4 of 4 from the line. Michigan State 10 of 14 for the stripe. Wisconsin 12 of 16.
And Davidson can elevate over Tum. That's the danger of him guarding him. Tough shot. He got hit.
Britzel, he did by McQuaid. No call. And there's Bridges. And those are the boos you hear.
I don't blame them.
Just trying to get away and foul as he was running out of real estate on the far side. Khalil Iverson will pick up the foul. That's the first.
Always got
a junior.
You always got to protect the shooter. This is not right. You can just see on that left arm that jars the guide hand a little bit. That should be automatic 3.
So Bridges, who was the Big Ten preseason player of the year after the award of freshman of the year in the conference a season ago. First trip to the free throw line this afternoon.
Well, if they win this got to be gratifying, not only for the whole team, but for this young guy. He and his family, I'm sure, have been overwhelmed by the notoriety.
Last win here for Michigan State was back in January of 2013. Iverson, Britzel, and Ford going up and fouled. 3 maybe coming his way. Goins got in the way.
Well, you got to take away the 3, but you got to do it discriminately. Always be under control. Don't attack. Don't get attached to the legs.
Liam Ford will be at the free throw line. He has not been to the line this afternoon for the Badgers.
Pretty good for 79%.
That shooting percentage from the line is good, but his three-point shooting has been amongst the best for a freshman at Wisconsin. One more coming his way. They bring in Aaron Maish, who is a senior from Green Bay. It is senior day. We haven't even talked about that with all the things on the line. Senior day here, and here is a senior out there for the Badgers.
And a lot of the mainstays aren't underclassmen.
Right, exactly. Walk-ons, as was Maish, and then got the scholarship in August. 6-point game. Here they go with the lean inside. Jackson knocks it away. Look at the diving freshman on the floor again, and it's going to be Wisconsin's ball.
Davidson doesn't care, does he?
Oh, my God.
Oh, look at the ref holding him up with that left arm. Don't pull me up that way.
He's saying, dude, don't do the wrong one.
Give him a 2-shot foul on J.D. Carterson.
14.4. Timeout taken. It's the second-ranked team in college basketball, up by 6 on CBS.
Pull together.
Seconds left here in Madison. We'll take you to golf right after this, but until then, the final round of the Honda Classic is available on PGAtour.com, CBSSports.com, and the Golf Channel right now. Tiger Woods had gotten a pretty good start on the day. One of the many stories from Florida coming up next on CBS Sports. Here it is Michigan State, first place in the Big Ten and trying to stay there.
Now you're undoubtedly looking for threes. I would drive it and kick it back out.
Should they stay there by themselves? Here they go. It is a 3. Davison, no. Picked up. Ford, back out Davison. The hesitation in the triple.
How about the poise of that kid?
Wow.
Quick timeout.
30 points, Bill, a career high. 30 points for Davison, keeping him alive with his sharpshooting from outside.
Men, women, dilly dilly.
Should deny it, give the foul right away. Possibility of not stepping to the ball exists here too, where you get a good angle for a run through. Let's see how they go. Looks like nobody on the ball. No, Ford on the ball. Everybody else fronting.
And Goins will inbound. 5 seconds. Down by 3. Wisconsin on defense.
Big on the ball.
Yep. Ford is 6'8". Got it in. And Bridges was held by Davison, who was just all over the floor. My gosh, this kid is amazing to watch.
He knows how to fall, too.
Yes, he does. Yes,
he made sure he didn't land on that left shoulder.
0.3 of a second, we're off the clock. We walk to the other end. Davison, by the way, 23 of his 30 in the second half. And Miles Bridges, who picked up steam in the second half. He is 2 of 2 from the stripe. Bridges today, he had 2 at halftime. He's got 8 for the game, and that is well below his 17 that he averages a game. He's right at his average for rebounding at 7. 89% free throw shooter. He's as good as there is.
No question about it. Again, they have a team concept. There's so many parts that can bite you during the course of a game. It's not necessary for him to get 25 points for them to win. And they have other options.
That is scary come tournament time, when you have so many different guys that can fill up that hole.
And make free throws and rebound.
Yes, exactly.
Pretty good assets.
Nairn will check back in. He'll take the place of the freshman Jackson,
who played magnificently in a very understated way. Huge on the defensive end.
Five-point lead, 4.7 to go. It's Davison. They let him fire, And that's it. And your outright Big Ten regular season title goes to Michigan State. 28-3. Big Ten record of 16-2. The #1 seed in the upcoming tournament. So there they are on top of Ohio State. 16 Big Ten wins, amongst the most they've ever had. 12 consecutive